of Twin Towers. I love the work of people like Malchus in this audience today who work with veterans. But there's so little being done to help our veterans spiritually. And you've experienced this in your, if I only had that car, I'd be happy. If I only had that house, I'd be happy. If I only got that promotion, I'd be happy. That doesn't last long, does it? Because the root problem always is at the base. We're spiritual people, as Augustine says. You've created us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. Happiness and peace, shalom, come when our hearts are tuned to our Creator, to our Maker. And that's the void we're trying to fill with God's Word for Warriors. You know, when I buy a car, I always go out and buy a car that's been pre-dented, pre-rusted, pre-banged up, you know, because I know it's going to be that way in a few months. So I just get the jump on it. Because those things don't satisfy us. They're just tools, and we're using them as that. And so we help veterans with moral and spiritual injury. And again, we have classes in 8 states and 2 foreign countries.
Wow.
And this is a 2-man operation. I draw no funds from God's Word for Warriors. I'm very fortunate in that I don't need it, you know. But again, it takes money to advertise, to promote, and things of this nature. So thank you for your support. We have trained over 2,200 individuals. We have trained over 55 leaders, veterans and civic leaders, to promote this program at various venues. And beginning now, we have some good programs coming in the future. We're going to have a veteran women's program. That is a needed area, our women veterans. And that's the most growing population in our military today, women veterans. And we need to reach out to them because that's a unique culture. We also are moving into the military court, the Veterans Court, in various different counties, because 8% of our prisoners today incarcerated are veterans. And we need to prepare them when they go back into society. We're working with corporations because you spend $8,000 to $10,000 training a veteran to come and work for your company, and a few months later, a few weeks later, they're gone. And so we're opening up to corporations. Give your veterans an hour a week comp time, and we'll come in and we'll address some of these issues so that we can increase the resiliency among our military people. And so those are the things that we're dealing with. We've produced a new course now for civilians. What do you do when you say, thank you for your service? So we started a course that began on Lipscomb's campus last semester, to where we introduce civilians to the military culture so that they can understand it. And what a blessing that course has been to us and hopefully to others. Dependence. Military dependence. I had a young lady come to me at Lipscomb before I retired almost 2 years ago. That's the rejoicing that you heard on campus, you know. Sad part is they let 3 people go because they had to hire 3 people to clean up the mess I made every week. So they lost their jobs. But I had a young lady come to me and she says, I've been educated in DOD schools my whole life, in Italy, in Europe, in Turkey. I just don't fit in to the civilian culture. Can I take your course? And I talked to the veterans. I said, yes. What a wonderful, wonderful thing that was. And she just really appreciated that. So those are some of the things that we're doing. And you make it possible. And I want to thank you for making that possible. You have my information on Tom Seals. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll come and speak to any group that is willing to listen to me and do anything that we can. I'm sorry that Jim Humphreys, my director and president, he's God's Word for Warriors tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for being here. And again, thank you for giving me the privilege and honor to stand before you. I want to introduce a good friend of mine. I've known him for several years. He probably won't admit that. The greatest gift that I gave him was he doesn't have much to follow. So I know that he'll be okay. Robert Holmes, Brigadier General, retired. Bob is a leader, senior executive with over 4 decades of experience in leading organizations ranging from small teams to large complex organizations. He is a combat veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom, which is, of course, Afghanistan, and the global war on terror. General Holmes comes from Alabama, Silicotta, Alabama, for all you Alabama fans out there. He lives in that area. He received his commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, trained in 1978. And he's progressed early to be combat control team operator of the Air Force's Tactical Special Operations, later known as Special Tactics. On 9/11, he commanded the Air Force's 720th Special Tactics Group and led the group's immediate and historical deployment on the part of a joint Operation Task Force South, directing combat operations in southern Afghanistan. He reached the flag position of Brigadier General in 2005 and was U.S. Air Force Director of Security Forces and Force Protection at the Pentagon, U.S. Central Command, also Deputy Director of Operations, on and on and on are his qualifications and what he's done. He has the Defense Medal with a Leaf Cluster, Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, President Unit Citation, Master Military and Free Parachutist. Bachelor of Arts in Speech from Lipscomb University, Master of Education from Georgia State University, and Master of Science in Management from Faulkner. And his professional military education includes studies at Air Command and Staff College and the Air War College. And now he works as an executive in different industries and certainly provides leadership and has a love and devotion for the military. Bob and his wife Colleen live in Alabama on the northern edge of Lake Martin. And so I want to introduce you and present to you General Bob Holmes.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's great to be back in Nashville, I got to tell you that. As you saw, and as Tom said, I'm a Bison.